So I'm working on a video, minding my own business, when my video editor hits me with this error. This video is ass. Session terminated. Of course, not really. This is a meme that I'd seen other variations of and thought it was hilarious, but it turns out there was not before an easy way to create a modern looking Windows message box, like with a custom error and stuff. So I spent all day making my own simply to be able to make this stupid meme. So that's what this video is about, this program. So it's free. If you want to try it out, I'll put a link in the description and I'll show you how it works. Basically, up until now, there was other apps that I'd seen that create like custom dummy Windows error message boxes, but they were like the old style. I had not seen any tools for creating a custom, more modern version of the error box like this one. So yes, I created one myself, and it's actually got some cool features that I'm a bit excited to show you. So why don't I just go over to the computer and I'll show you how it works. Okay, so this is the app right here. It's just a basic Windows Forms app, and it's one single file, just an exe. If you want to download it, it's just on this GitHub page I have for it. To download it, you just go to the releases section on the right, and then look under assets for the latest release. And there's a few different versions. I explain what these are for. Most of the time, you can just use the self-contained x86, and then you just run from anywhere. And when you open it up, I already filled in a couple fields here before I started recording so you can get an idea of it. You can put in like the title, the heading, stuff like that, and then simply click show dialog, and then it pops up all the information. And you have a bunch of different options for the icons you can show. So this one is just information, like an information one. You can also pop it up as warning, and that shows the warning dialog. And as you'll notice, the expanded info actually shows like an expander right here, and a bunch of other cool stuff that you don't get with a normal Windows message box, as you're probably aware. Like this heading thing doesn't show as a different color, all that. And what's really cool is built into these task dialog boxes, that's technically what this more modern message box is called, a task dialog message box. There's these built-in modes for like having a blue bar like this and other colored bars. So this is the shield with the blue bar, the gray bar. These are all built in here. And the error one with the red, shield warning yellow with the yellow bar, and the green success. However, if you do some trickery, you can actually get any of these with any of the colored bars. So I did that behind the scenes, and there's an option here, down here, where you can select any of the colored bars and then use any of the icons. So if you wanted an error icon but a green bar, you can do that here. And basically behind the scenes how it works is it draws the first one with the green shield with success and then replaces the icon with whatever one you choose. And here's another cool thing. You don't have to just use these built-in icons. You can actually either use a custom file. So say I wanted to do Premiere Pro, I'm in the Premiere Pro installation directory, and in the dropdown you can select icon from exe, and that will show executable files, and you can select that and it will pull it from there. And then now when you do that, it now uses that icon. And again, for the custom icon file, it doesn't have to be an exe. It could be any of these different image type formats, so bitmap, GIF, JPEG, PNG, TIFF, or an icon file. There's also a way you can filter just for icon files or EXEs. Now, unfortunately, you can't use a custom icon with the colored bars just because the way the Windows API works. However, you can use a bunch of other ones with the custom bar, and that is anything that shows up in the ImageRes DLL file. And you're probably thinking, well, how do I even know that? Well, very conveniently, I added a button to view the possible ones in there. So you open that up, it'll automatically pull from the Windows thing in your installation. So it's all automatic, it's not hard coded. And all these are in here. And then you can fill in this box here, custom icon ID, simply by clicking any of these here. So maybe we wanted this video icon for some reason. And then with that selected, with the default bar color, if you hit show dialog, it's just going to show, of course, with no colored bar, just like it normally would. Or you can select any of these, and you can get the colored bars with any of these ones in here. And again, the reason you can do this, but not with like a custom file one, is just the way the Windows works. But that's pretty cool. You normally can't do that with this dialog box, but I added some little hackery in there. And you can do that with literally any of these. So you can play around with these icons in here, and you can manually type in if you want, for some reason, and it'll just show like the 2 is that one. And then you can also change which buttons show up. So these are like pretty standard ones, yes and no. And by the way, if you remove these fields, like you remove the expanded information one, it just doesn't show that expanded info thing anymore. So it's not like it'll be looking weird. And then the same goes if you were to remove the footer message, it just shows closer to like a normal message box. And we'll maybe use a different icon to test it. It doesn't matter what you click here. These don't actually do anything, these buttons. One thing I did notice, if you don't put a title, it'll show the exe file name. So if you don't want a title, you can just put a space and then it will be blank. You can also have like no heading, and then it just shows the text there, and it'll be black text apparently. I didn't even try that before, but apparently that's what it looks like. And if you're wondering what this show verification badge does, basically you have to actually fill this in, but you can put whatever text, and then it just shows like this little verification box. And that just is like a way if you wanted to say, don't show this again, or I understand, or something like that. Now for the bar color, this forced none, you probably don't usually need to worry about that. That's just because for these different icons, behind the scenes, it's literally the selection for the icon is shield error red bar, so it looks like that. But if you wanted, you could force it to not do that, to have no background if you wanted, or of course you could just find the shield error in the list of icons and just use that as like the custom ID, and then it's going to look the same. So it's just kind of like an extra thing in there. And yeah, I guess there's not really any much more to it. It's just a thing that generates a custom error box. You can use it for demos or a meme or for graphics, whatever you want. So yeah, that's about it. I thought I'd make a video about it because I already spent so much time on it, may as well. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a big giant thumbs up and let me know down in the comments what you thought. Are you going to use this for maybe something actually useful that I never thought of? Or you could just make your own memes. I don't know. We'll talk about that down there. If you want to keep watching, the next video I'd recommend is where I talked about another app I made having to do with fixing a problem that I had with my Logitech keyboard, but also might benefit anyone who has RGB keyboards. It has to do with like the scroll lock and num lock. I'll put that link right there you can click on. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.